Swamin Namaste Natalokabandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdhau Mamuddharatmiya Kataksha Drishtya Rijvyati Karunya Sudhabhivrishya Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Jnanaswarupam Nijabhavayuktam Anandamanandakaram Prasannam Yogindramedhyam Bhavarogavadyam Srimadgurum Nityamaham Namami Srimadgurum Nityamaham Namami Nityaya Satyaya Chidatmakaya Navyaya Bhavyaya Paratparaya Shuddhaya Buddhaya Niranjanaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So we have all assembled here to see how Vedanta brings about excellence in life. And not only that, I have been given the topic, Practicing Vedanta for Excellence in Life. So, we have heard Pujya Swamiji's talk, and I think to some extent, he has touched upon in his first lecture, what is Vedanta, what is this I, and what is this mind and its potentials. He has 3 more lectures. I think he will slowly tell you more details about it and inspire and encourage all of you how to actually apply this Vedantic knowledge in everyday life. So I have been given this topic, Practicing Vedanta. Now, whatever you have heard about Vedanta and what Vedanta is, Swamiji told us about Samhita, Brahmana, then Aranyaka and Upanishad. Samitha is that in our life, the Vedas tell us to, in the first part, it is all praises and prayers to gods. And then they feel that that's not enough. So they start performing. That is the Brahmana. What is that? That is, they start doing sacrifices, fire sacrifices. That is what is called Yajna. Then third is Aranyaka. After some time, there was a feeling that, that is also not enough. So then they start contemplating upon what they are doing. What is that enough? And ultimately, in search of, they understand that all this is not enough. It is not giving us happiness, peace in life, nor is it giving us fearlessness in life, unaffectedness in life. We are just doing certain things. We are praising, we are singing, we are chanting hymns, we are going to temples. Then we started doing yajnas even. And then we started thinking what we are doing and how we can, from all these things, do we really get peace and happiness which is everlasting? And people started feeling that no, it's not leading us anywhere. is not giving an everlasting peace and happiness. It is not giving us fearlessness. It is not giving us unaffectedness in life, which all of us want. Don't we want it? Our life is such that it constantly has what? Happiness as well as unhappiness, success as well as failure. And we are afraid of many, many things. I think our life is full of what? Anxiety, fear, tension, and unhappiness. Always we are fearing whether whatever we want, we will get it or not. We have so many desires in our life. We want to be excellent in everything. But we find that we are not. We are not getting. We desire or wish for certain things. We do not get it. So the fear is always whether what I want will I get or not. And suppose we get also. Suppose we have studied very well, we are very well placed, we have got a very good job, very good salary, very comfortable, everything. Then what is the fear? Whether all this will be lost. So, fear of not getting what I want and fear of losing even if I have got. So this is the main secret of our life, that our life is full of fear. And we get afflicted, we get affected by many things. Big calamities, adversities, even small ones. Big, say, maybe somebody's business fails, you lose your job, or somebody near and dear one has passed away, you do not have money, or maybe you want to settle somewhere and you are not being able to get a house to settle. So many things can happen. And so these are, we call it big events in life. Actually, there are 3 kinds of miseries in life, which our scriptures say. What are the 3 kinds? One is called adhi-daivika. Adhi-daivika means which comes through nature, like floods, earthquakes, typhoons, hurricanes, and all that. And on this, we have no hand. We cannot control it. It just came. See, these people, these children went with their coach just as a trip. They went and the caves became flooded. I mean, they had no control over it. They didn't know that this will happen. So this is called Adhi-daivika, which is an adversity which nature throws upon us. And second is Adhi-bhautika, that is by humans and animals we get suffering. Say, dog bite, snake bite, or somebody has murdered somebody or harmed somebody physically. And these are called Adhi-bhautika. These 2 types of dukkhas or sufferings are there in human life. But many of us might have escaped it. And we escape also. But of course, in our circle of near and dear ones or friends or in the society, we come to know of such miseries. Even if one, in one's lifetime, escapes this Adhi-daivika and Adhi-bhautika, another one cannot escape, that is Adhyatmika, that is spiritual misery, which is born out of your own mind. How? Which is a dukkha, what is a suffering because of our own mind? Our mind's traits, the undesirable traits. We are angry, we are irritated, we dislike people, we blame people, we criticize people, we analyze people, we do not sacrifice, we do not help, we are intolerant, we do not have endurance, we are not patient. So these are the traits we suffer from. And when we do that, say suppose I am a lazy person, I may be lazy, but I suffer because of that. Every day I think we feel, whoever is lazy feels that, oh, tomorrow I'll get up very early, I'll do all my things properly, I will not procrastinate, I will be a very good human being. Or suppose I'm a very irritable person, then I think every day, every moment, whenever we become irritated for small causes, we say that no, this is not how I should behave or talk. I should not hurt others. But even though we have a resolve, we find that we are failing. We still do it. And the greatest is the fear. Fear of everything in life. So, these are the sufferings that we have. So this adhyatmika suffering is common to everybody. And even if it is not a big thing, so small things, like everybody wants to be loved by others. Everybody wants that others should be considerate to me. Everybody feels that I should be understood by my near and dear ones. And that seldom happens. Many times it doesn't happen. Most of the times I would say it doesn't happen. So then we feel sorrowful, we feel depressed, we feel miserable. So this is our life. Now the question is, how, from the time of Vedas, having done everything, human beings found that by doing all these praises, yajnas and all that, we are not able to get over these traits that we have. So we need to know more. We need to understand more. What is this I who am? The one that I feel is suffering, who is that? Why is it that sometimes I suffer, sometimes I do not suffer? Why is it that maybe somebody's talk sometimes makes me absolutely irritated, angry, but sometimes I am able to tolerate it? So what is that? And all this fear, anxiety, tension, is there any state reaching where I'll be able to be very stable in the midst of all that? Like a boat, or a ship, when it goes into the waves. And ultimately in deep ocean, the ship is always stable. It has no fear as such. So, is there anything, any state of life, any stage of life, reaching where we can become absolutely stable and we can float? So we need to know who I am in reality. Is it clear? This question should come to the mind, As, I have been also treading this path from a very young age. Maybe I was 23 years old at that time. So young. And here many of you are youngsters. When I look at youngsters especially, I feel that many of them simply miss out on this. What? They miss out on this fact that there is something other than the normal life that we lead. There is something higher, something more promising, which will make us happy and peaceful eternally. Everlasting joy will be ours. We will become fearless. But we miss out because we do not really come to know about it. Even if we come to know about it, it is, just as a pastime. We just hear about it or learn about it. We do not make an effort to go forward and understand what it really is. See, all of you have come here for this workshop. Many of you have come, many new faces I am seeing, very promising faces. But when it comes to, maybe you have come on a Saturday and Sunday you have come, but the rest of the time, do you think that you will be pursuing this or going deeper into it? Will your mind have a question, let me go with all my responsibilities and duties of life, let me also think about this, how I can slowly progress to that stage where I will feel that there is nothing more to attain. I have attained that which makes me absolutely courageous, absolutely strong, absolutely fearless, absolutely unaffected. So that question should be there in everybody's mind, that what is the purpose of this human life? What is the purpose of this human life? Is it only to get born, then get educated, then get a job, and only try for more and more promotions and more salary and be comfortable and more comfortable, get married, have children, raise the children, and slowly you go old and then die. Is this the only purpose? Or is there a simultaneous aim, or I would say that is a supreme aim, so that pursuing that also side by side in all the stages of life, whatever misery and happiness I am encountering, I will still be able to face it with lot of courage without getting disturbed at all. That should be the aim. What is the aim? That is, I must have an aim. In all the stages of life, I find that I am shuttling between happiness and unhappiness. Many times I feel that, the future is absolutely dark. I do not know what to decide. At many stages we feel that I do not know what to decide. And we feel that as if I am getting scorched by many of the happenings in my life. I feel absolutely depressed. All these things happen to us. We may be having happiness for little times. We may be enjoying with our friends, our relatives, but all that is superficial, transitory, does not remain. And again we face ourselves where we are confused, we are hopeless, we are indecisive, we are fearful. So, what should we do? So, this aim and question, first the question should arise that is there anything better than this? Is there no stage in life where I can say that, yes, let anything come and hit me from anywhere, I will still be stable, I will still float, I will not be disturbed at all, I will not be afflicted at all. This should be the aim and question. This is how the sages of the olden times, they have also felt. They felt, they questioned, and they found that they have done everything. And by doing everything, they have not reached that everlasting happiness which they wanted. They wanted it. So, then they started thinking, what next? Then, to know that, what is? It is that knowing which you will be able to feel that you are also eternal, immovable, and you are self-effulgent. No decay can come to you. Nothing can move you. Nothing can disturb you. Nothing can make you fearful. Knowing that alone, you will have everlasting happiness. So in search of that, they would seek somebody who knows it. You get it? Seek somebody who knows. Suppose you want to learn a subject. See, when we are small, we are put to school. Why? To learn. Even if your parents are teachers, they don't say that, my child, you remain in the house, we will teach you. They send you to school, where in a very methodical and organized manner, the teachers who have taken training and who have taught and have experience to train children, they are teaching. So the teaching will be useful and meaningful. Similarly, for everything, we have a teacher. Similarly, to know what this Vedanta or the main aim of life, knowing which we will be absolutely stable in our life, excellent in life, we have to learn from somebody who has learnt it, who has tread this path, who has known it, and who has become excellent. Right? You agree? All of you? So that is why those people, long back, we cannot even say how many years back, they understood that all these hymns, all these praises, all these yajnas, they are taking us nowhere. Now we must look for that. That vijnanartham sa gurumeva abhigachet. You may not know Sanskrit, but just listen to the Sanskrit words. It should put honey to your ears. Even if you do not want, it will go inside your ear, and you know what our scriptures say, that if you just hear these words, then it will enter you and purify your heart. That is what our Sanskrit language is. It will purify ourselves. So, that vijnanartham sa gurumev abhigacche. So they started looking, who knows? Who is the one who can know? And they go in search of such a person who is a wise person, a knowledgeable person, a knower, one who has known. Known what? Known not English, history, geography, science, not that. What is this knowledge? The knowledge about your own self. Who am I actually? Am I this body? I have a figure, I have a form, I look particularly something, and I feel that this is me with my mind and intelligence and ego. All these things I have. But is this the I? Is this the I? No. In this knowledge, in this spiritual knowledge, we ultimately come to know the I is one who is the witness of the body, the mind, and the intelligence. Do you understand anything? Maybe you're not. I'll tell you. That is, I can see myself as a 5-year-old girl when something happened. Right? All of us can remember. So when I was 5 years old, I went with my mother and she bought me a lollipop. I remember it. When I was 10 years old, I went with my friend to another friend's house and we had a party. When I was 25 years old, similarly something. 35 years old, something. All these things, I can see that scene. Okay? Don't you? Everybody can. So, the one who is seeing it, has it aged? With age, does it become a little infirm and cannot think of the 5-year-old time? Are you getting my question? The one who is seeing myself as a 5-year-old child, 15-year-old child, 25-year-old, or maybe 60 years old, the one who can suppose we sometimes sit, with a cup of tea or coffee and we think of the past and think of many good things, sometimes something which has hurt me, all those things. Somebody is witnessing all that, witnessed. That somebody is remembering everything very, very clearly. When it thinks of the time when I was 5 years or 15 years, is there a change in that witness? One is thinking. There is no change. Change has come to what? My body. Change has come to my body. When I was 5 years old, I was a little girl wearing maybe frocks and skirts. When I was 15 years old, maybe I was a different kind with different hairstyle and different dresses. When I am a little older, I am looking a little different. So, the witness who is thinking of those times, that has not changed. That is only seeing. What has changed is my body, along with it what? My mind. A 5-year-old I was, and the 15-year-old what I was, there is a lot of difference in my mind structure. I have learnt more, I know more, I have done very good in, say, many of the subjects. I'm a very good student. Or similarly, if you think of the person whom at the age of 25, it will be different from what you were at the age of 5 or 10. Right? Is it okay? So, the real identity that I am, that I is not this body, mind and intelligence which goes into change. The body changes, the mind changes, the intelligence also changes. So when you are quite young, your intelligence will be sharp. As you grow older and older, what happens? The intelligence slowly is not that sharp. By age, you become a little infirm. You take time to recollect. You take time to grasp things. You take a little time to express yourselves. So what changes is the body, mind and intelligence. And so, if they are changing, that is why, because they are changeful, that is why when there is some kind of suffering, the mind suffers. Because their nature is changeful. But the real identity that I am, the one who can actually see these changes, if you go into yourself, you are seeing these changes. That when I was 5-year-old, I was very jolly. Then something had happened to my family. We became maybe a little poor. We didn't have much of support from our relatives. So my mind at the age of 15 was not as jolly as I was at the age of 5. Right? Who is watching this? That watcher, that observer, that witness, that is stable, constant, eternal. That is why it can see all these changes. You understand? That is why it can see all these changes. We have to understand that in essential, my real identity is that changeless I, which is deep within us. Deep within us. Does not get changed. What changes is the mind. What changes is the intelligence. And these undergo changes. And because these undergo changes, we suffer. Because we feel that I am associated with this mind and intelligence and I am suffering. But when we are facing an adversity, if we can remember that I don't change at all, what is changing is my mind. My mind is getting affected. My intelligence is getting affected. I inside me is only witnessing that some changes or affectation has come to my mind and intelligence. But if we can hold on to that I inside us, we will also float. We will not change at all. Not get disturbed. Swamiji told one shloka, one line alone. I'll chant that shloka. Akashavalle paviduragoham adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavan nitya vinischaloham ambodhivat paravivarjitoham Akashavalle paviduragoham adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavan nitya vinischaloham ambodhivat paravivarjitoham. You know, only if you can learn these 4 lines. Maybe you do not by heart also, but just know the meanings. All the problems will be gone. Because this is a shloka which says, what I am in essential. What does it say? It says, like the sky, stainless am I. Sky is what? Sky is taintless, stainless. If I make a mark on earth or with my finger, there will be a mark. Suppose on water I pass my finger, there will be a mark. But as I move my finger, the water will again come back to its original form. No division will be there. And in air, in space, in sky, if I make a mark like this, what will happen? No mark. There won't be any mark. So, in essential, I am like that sky, like that space. So I have to remember this. I remember that I am like sky. Suppose something has happened, some kind of problem, some difficulty, and your mind gets affected, gets disturbed. Simply sit somewhere and think that, no, I cannot get affected. I'm not weak. I'm very strong. And I'm strong because, in a sense, I am like the sky. This happening cannot bring about a mark in myself. Right? Can you think? I think we can think. Always. We are thinking so many things, unnecessary things, non-essentials. But what is essential, we should make some habit of thinking. Initially, we will not remember to think. But slowly, if you continuously, by habit, by an effort, make the mind think like this, you will find that slowly this treasure will be yours. The feeling that I am immovable. So I am taintless like the sky. Then, like the sun, self-luminous am I. I am like the sun, self-luminous. Many times, when we face some problems, we don't know what to decide. It looks as if the path ahead is dark. We feel there's a wall. We are not able to understand what to do. I think that happens in everybody's life, to various degrees. So, at that time, what I should think? No, darkness cannot come to my mind because I am self-effulgent, self-luminous am I. I am like that. Think like that, just step back. Say you're in the midst of something, some things which is happening. Maybe you are in your office, you are having to reply to your boss, or maybe you have a business, it is not running well, so you are in great difficulty thinking how the business will improve. Just step back and think, I'm like the sky, I'm like the sun. It cannot happen to me that I become depressed, I become low. Yes, the problem is still there. We will handle the problem, we have to handle the problem. But we are not able to handle the problem in an excellent manner because we get fearful, we get affected. Then third is, like, I'm not able to read. Anyway, the meaning is that, like the mountain, I am absolutely immovable. Immovable like the mountain am I. Like a mountain, however much and how many of us can go and, push it, it will not move. So, whenever there is any kind of suffering, you should think that I, in essential, is like the mountain. I cannot be moved. What of this? Even a bigger problem I will be able to face without getting disturbed or without getting moved. This is I. This is the I. And the last one is Ambodhivat Para Vivarjitoham. It is, I am like the ocean which is boundless, boundaryless, shoreless. I am so expanded that I can take everything. The ocean, it takes what? Everything it takes. The rivers bring in very pure water, very muddy water, so many other kinds of impurities, and they go and meet the ocean. Ocean doesn't say that, no, I don't want the impurities. I want only the nice water. It doesn't say anything. It is able to take everything and still it doesn't overflow. So, I am like that actually. Do you believe me? We have to believe, In this path, in spirituality, the one thing that we must have is faith. Faith in what? Faith in what the scriptures say. Faith in what the gurus say. These two faiths should be there. I'm not experiencing it. None of you is experiencing it. But you are hearing the words of the scripture. which says that it is so, it is so. And you are hearing the words of gurus who are also saying, yes, it is so. And there are many who have experienced it. Maybe you have not, but come along, hold my hand. I will take you to that stage or destination where you will have everlasting joy and peace and unaffectedness and fearlessness. So in search of that, the olden time sages started seeking, looking for somebody who is called the Guru, who is called the teacher, who is called the knower of this knowledge, not knower of the ordinary knowledges that we have. In ordinary knowledge, what happens? We read, we go to school, then college, then university, everywhere. We learn what? Special subjects. And what are those learnings for? What is that knowledge for? To build up our career, to get a good job, and then get money, earn money, and with your knowledge, you perform well, and you get money and more money, comfort and more comfort. Does it make any change in the structure of your mind, what you are? As I said, we have so many traits, good traits and bad traits. Does this knowledge of these subjects, English, history, geography, physics, chemistry and all that, does it transform our mind to have only the good qualities? Does not. What do you say? Does it? Does it tell us that when you are in the face of difficulty, what you should do, what you should think, how you should behave, how you should deal with it? It doesn't tell us. Say the best student in the class has mastered the subject, goes for sitting for the examination, and sees that in the question paper, some questions he doesn't know or has not prepared well. He's the best student, mind you. He feels nervous. Has all his learning and knowledge of the subject, he is considered to be the best student. Has all this knowledge taught him how to remain calm and stable in the face of this nervousness? Has it? No. Unfortunately, our house, our parents, in our educational institutions, our teachers, they do not teach us about the mind, how the mind has to be handled. Wherever you go, when we are young, we are with our parents. When we start studying, we are with our teachers. Then when we go and start working, we are with our boss and subordinates and colleagues. Everywhere the mind is there. And that mind, which becomes fearful, affected, depressed, and whatnot. But till now, in our educational institute or in our house, under our parents, we have not learned how to handle that mind, how to remain calm and stable in the mind. In spite of all this, how the mind can be made to become stable and float without any affectation, without any fear, in the midst of all kinds of waves, only the spiritual knowledge can give us. Only the spiritual knowledge. So they started looking for somebody, a knower, who will give the spiritual knowledge. And only knowing that knowledge, we can become excellent. Excellent. See, all of you have come seeing the theme of this workshop. That is Vedanta. What is that? Vedanta in excellence of life. So, excellence of life. I don't know what all of you individually have thought. This excellence is not in profession. That excellence is not in academics. This excellence is in what? In life. How you become excellent so that whichever situation you are in, you are able to handle it, and you are able to handle it without getting drowned in fear or misery or anxiety. How you can remain stable-minded. That is the excellence. And how will that excellence come? That excellence will come when the body, mind and intelligence all are excellent. We make them excellent. They are not now. They are not now. So the mind and intelligence, they are constantly getting affected by what we want and do not get, or what we get but we feel that we may lose it. So they are constantly getting affected. But making them excellent by knowing this knowledge, that is going beyond the mind and intelligence and knowing this supreme knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, the supreme knowledge about our own I, which is taintless as the sky, self-luminous as the sun, absolutely immovable like the ocean, and expanded like the, absolutely immovable like the mountains, and boundaryless or expansive like the ocean. And that I has many other characteristics or attributes. What is it? Changeless means it is eternal. It is eternal. It cannot be, there will be no decay in that. It is eternal, it is imperishable, it is immovable, it is undivided, it is one without a second. There is no second, that is only one. All the eyes. Now you may think that all of us are having an eye of oneself. That since the characteristics of everybody's small eyes are the same, all eyes are same. And it is the universal self. Universally, it is all pervading. There is only one self in this universe. And those self, that universal self, takes form in different bodies, and we become various. And everybody's mind is different, so mind acts differently. You know, I told you that then so the sages, they started looking for somebody who will tell them what is this I, and knowing which I can become excellent in life. Why I will become excellent? Because I'll have no fear. I'll be unaffected. Because when we start working, what makes us not perform excellently is our doubts, our lack of confidence. Will I be able to? Will I be able to? That fear. Or an excess wish that I should be the best one, I should perform the best, I should get this kind of reward. All those desires, expectations, they actually hinder us from performing excellently. So we will see slowly how we can handle these desires, expectations, and what we should do actually. Now let me go back to that point where what have the sages done? They are now looking for somebody who can tell you about this I. Swamiji told you about Upanishads, where you learn sitting at the feet of the master. So many Upanishads are there. There is one Upanishad. In all the Upanishads, it is talking about the I. That is, talking about the self or the I in various ways. Why it is explained in various ways? Because our mind is such. Because once hearing, we are not able to retain. So in various ways it is explained so that it remains ingrained in our mind and heart. So one such Upanishad is the Kathopanishad. Would you like to hear the story? There is a beautiful story behind it. So in Kathopanishad, what happens is that a sage called Vajashravas. He was doing a fire sacrifice, a yajna he was doing. And in any yajna, offerings have to be given. And what we are supposed to give is the best of offerings. Why best of offerings? Best, whatever I have. I must not be clinging to my possessions. Whatever I have, best I will give to the deities or gods, to whomever we are making these offerings. That is, all these offerings, in the Vedas, everything, this Karma Kanda, Swamiji told you this word Karma Kanda, that is where we either sing or do praise or chant hymns and then do the yajnas. It is all for the purity of the mind. That is to take away attachment, take away expectations, take away possessiveness from the mind, so that the mind becomes purer and purer. When we become pure, we leave aside our some bad traits, like holding on to our ego, holding on to our possessiveness. Those are actually constricting us. They do not allow us to be like the ocean. You get it? When we are constricted, we are not like the ocean. But what is my real self? It is like the ocean. So whenever we have to introspect and see in which behavior I have become a little constricted. So I have done something which is hindering me to know myself as the ocean. Right? So this Vajashravas, he was a sage, he knew many things, he has read the Vedas, he had been doing yajna year after year. So he was giving offerings. You know what kind of offering? He was very possessive about all the things that he had. So cow offering is something which is given to the priests who perform the yajna. So from his cow shed, he was bringing all the cows which were very old. They have stopped milking, they have stopped taking grass, then like that. Not helpful when you give it to somebody. If you give a cow to somebody, you must give it when it is milking very well. Otherwise, what is the use of giving? But he was doing that. He was bringing all such cows and giving. His little son, Nachiketa, was sitting nearby and watching. He was feeling very, very sad. The father is doing like this. And in his mind, Shraddha King, that is a feeling where you feel very much given to what you should do. The application of what you know. So his mind was full of Shraddha. He thought, oh, my father, by doing this act, he will be taken to the hell. Because he is not doing the right way in which the yajna should be done. So he asked his father. He thought that I am also something which my father can offer. So he asked the father, Father, whom will you offer? Whom will you offer me? Whom will you offer? He asked once, twice, thrice. The father was busy doing his rituals. So father got annoyed by so many questions. So the father said, Vajashrava said, with anger, I give you to Lord Yama, that is Lord of Death. I give you to him. Poor boy. Father then restarted his rituals. This poor boy, he was very, very sincere. So he thought, my father out of anger has offered me to the god of death. So I must go. So he started going. He also thought that, earlier days, now here you have come for a 2-day workshop to learn about what? Vedanta. That is not how Vedanta can be taught. Just like, say, to learn the basic subjects, we stay in a school for 10 to 12 years. Like that, one has to sit at the feet of the master and know. Anyway, so this boy, and during those time, there used to be this kind of Gurukulas, where the teacher would be teaching. His own children will also learn in the same school and others will come. Even the princes will also come. That is the sons of the kings. So this boy was thinking that I think I am one of the best students. Even if I am not one of the best, at least I am a mediocre student. Then why has Father given me such a curse that you go to the god of death? But anyway, since my father has said this, and since I know that whatever the elders do, you also follow that. Since my father, who is elder to me, has said this, I must keep his word. So he went walking. I don't know how he went to Lord Yama. When he went there, he found that Yama, the god of death, was not there. So he sat there. 3 days and 3 nights, Yama didn't come. Maybe somewhere some big calamity had taken place and he had gone and he was attending that. So he was not there for 3 days and 3 nights. Nobody asked him food and water. He sat outside the palace without food and without water. And Yama, when he came back, he found that a small young boy, Brahmin, Brahmachari, is sitting there and understood that he has not taken food and drink for 3 days and 3 nights. Actually, for any householder, it is a great sin. When anybody comes as a guest, you must give him food and drink. Must offer. Must see to it that he is comfortable. This is our tradition. He must be made comfortable. So, that is why in our scriptures it is said, Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi means what? Atithi means any visitor. He should be treated like a god and should be served well, given at least some place to sleep, and food and drink should be given. So, Yama felt that this Brahmin boy can now, I have incurred sin because nobody has attended to him. And he may even curse me. So he said, my dear boy, it's something which has happened. It is not what should happen in any household. But anyway, since you have remained here 3 days, just because of that, I want to offer you 3 boons. Please ask me 3 boons. So that the sin that I have incurred is annihilated. So first boon, what Nachiketa asked. See, here you must see, we are talking of excellence. See the excellence of this boy. He has also learned. He has studied a little bit of Vedanta and he has learned. So, the excellence of this boy. Anybody, see, many of us, if we go somewhere to meet somebody, we find that the person is not there. What will we do? What will you do? I think we'll wait for somebody, some time, and then we will say that, enough, let me go back. Or, even if we feel that we have to wait for some more time, we'll go and search whether there is any food or drink available in any stall or somewhere else. He did nothing. He simply sat there because he was so focused in coming and meeting Yama. This focus, that is called excellence. Whatever work we take up, the focus we must have. We are not excellent because we do not have the focus. While doing one work, our mind goes to various other work. When doing a piece of work, we'll feel that, after this I have to do this also, I have to do that also. Will I be able to do? So many distracting thoughts come to our mind. The question is it possible that when we are doing our work, distracting thoughts will not come and disturb us? Yes, it is possible. It is possible. That is what we learn in Vedanta. Slowly only we will progress. Now I am telling the story, back to the story. So, Yama said, 3 boons you ask from me. And, see, when I talk, I get completely confused what is the time and all that. What is the time? I am supposed to talk up to 12? 12:15. Oh, that's enough time. So, so Nachiketa, in his first boon, you know what he asked? He's a small boy. What he could have asked? Asked for so many toys, so many good eatables, because he was hungry also. He didn't do all that. He, with his good values and character, what he asked is that, "Oh Yama, please give me this boon that my father must be very, very sad that he told me to come to your abode. And he must be, whatever anger he had some anger for me, that is why he said. So please see to it that his anger is pacified and he is happy. Also, when I go back from here, he should accept me and love me as before." So his whole mind was on his father. Father's sorrow, father's feelings, his sentiments, emotions, and whatever the father did. He asked the father also, "Whom will you give me?" That also, thinking about the father, that the father is doing something wrong, he asked this question. And when he has been given a boon, then also he thinks first about his father. That father should become very pacified, happy, and should accept me when I go back and love me as before. Second boon was, he said, "I know that there is a fire sacrifice doing which one goes to heaven. I want to learn that." So Yama told him about the fire sacrifice, all the mantras, how, yajna means there will be a yajna kunda will be there, no? So how the bricks have to be placed, everything Yama told. And then when Yama asked him that, "Please tell me what you have learned and heard," he repeated everything without any mistake. Yama was very happy. He said that you are so intelligent. So I give you one extra boon. What is that extra boon? This fire sacrifice will be known by your name. So it is called Nachiketa Agni. That yajna is called like that. So he learned that. Then he said, Yama said, "You ask the third one." He said, "Oh Yama, there is a great question and doubt in human beings' mind that what happens after death? What is this soul? Does it also take birth? What happens? So, please tell me about this. What is this self or Atma? When the body is not there, what happens?" Yama said, "My goodness, don't ask this question. This is a question which is very difficult to reply. And all the gods also, they also do not know how to reply it, and they cannot even learn this. So you are a small boy, please don't ask me this question. I will not be able to tell you. I will not tell you. Instead, my dear boy, you are a young boy. I am giving you many, many things to enjoy. I am giving you so many things, materials, and many people, many gardens, a big house, so many food, so many toys. And to enjoy this, I am giving you 1,000 years of your life. Suppose God gives us and then takes away our life. Then how will you enjoy? So, Yama says that I will give you 1,000 years to enjoy all these things. So, but please don't ask me. Then Nachiketa and also said, there are many things, Yama said, there are many things which are very rare to have, like these damsels of this heaven. They will sing for you, they will dance for you. There are so many chariots sitting where you can go around everywhere and see so many good places. You please take all those things. Don't ask me this question. Nachiketa said, nothing doing. You know what he said? Shobhavamartasya yadantakaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jivitamalpameva tavaiva vahastava nritya gite. Do you like to hear these Sanskrit chantings? Most of you? All of you? Shobhava, this is from Kathopanishad. You know? I never thought that I'll say something from Kathopanishad. But yesterday night I thought that Vedanta, in Vedanta, little bit of Upanishad, I think it will be very interesting for all of you. Shobhavamattasya yadantakaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jivitamalpameva tavaiva vahastava nritya gite. It says, O Yama, Lord of Death, you are alluring me with so many gifts. Your third boon is that I give you so many things, these damsels, this dancing, then songs, and then this chariot. So it's a very, very costly chariot, studded with diamonds, studded with gold, so many things. And food, house, palace, this, that, and 1,000 years. But after 1,000 years, what will happen? What will happen after that? It will all go. So it is not everlasting. Shobhava martasya yadantakaitat. In this world, everything is transitory. We do not know when the body will drop. We may think that we have got enough. Oh, my bank balance is quite okay. More than what I could even imagine when I was young. And if I am sick or anybody in my family is sick, I can take to a very good hospital and get them treated. I can keep 2-3 home nurses to look after in the house also. But suppose some adhidaivika dukkha, misery comes, flood, earthquake, or anything else, will anything remain with you? Nothing. Nothing will remain. We cannot say when the body will drop. You know, the king Parikshit was cursed by a Brahmin boy that on 7th day he will die by the biting of a snake. Because King Parikshit, he insulted this Brahmin boy's father, who was a sage, Shamika Maharshi. Shamika Maharshi was meditating. This king was hunting. He came there, very, very thirsty. He asked for water. That poor sage was meditating. So he didn't hear. And the Raja got flared up. What is this? I am the king, I am the emperor. And this fellow is not even getting up and receiving me, not even giving me water. So, enraged, there was a dead cobra lying somewhere nearby. He took it with his arrow, put it in the neck of the Maharshi and went away. And others saw from a distance. They went and told this boy, the son of this Maharshi, who was playing with other children at a distance. This boy, hearing that, he just said, whoever has done this sin to my father, has incurred the sin, will be bitten by a snake on the 7th day and will die. So King Parikshit came to know about it, and he understood. He said that, my goodness, I am considered to be a noble king, a very devoted king. I look after my subjects very well. How is it that anger came to me like this, so that I have insulted a sage who tells us about how to live this life, about devotion, about his supreme knowledge? How did I do this? That means, though I am feeling I am a devotee, I am actually not a devotee. I have got many, many traits in me which are not devotee-like. I have to now contemplate on those, contemplate on the Supreme Lord and become better. And now that I have got only 7 days of my life left, I want to know what I should do so that I know my own self, who is unaffected, fearless. He was fearful of his death. fearless, unaffected, eternal, knowing which I will not be fearing my death, which is on the seventh day. So this was his question. You know what he said? What should I hear? What should I chant? What should I remember? What is my duty? What should I worship? Please tell me. He asked the sages. This was his question. So, this is the question of everybody. Everybody, we do not know when the body is going to fall, whether in 1 day or 20 days or 200 days or 5 years or maybe 20 years. We do not know. But we must know. So, Shobhava Martasya Yadantagaitat. It says that this life is transitory. This life is transitory. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Even if we start enjoying, what is happening actually? We are becoming older. Is it not? You know, when I think I can tell up myself, when I was young, I used to think, when I become grown up, I have a job and I will earn, I will take many Cadbury chocolates. I think all of us think something or other like this. But when you reach that age, you don't like it at all. And you are surprised, whatever things you hated eating in the childhood, you are liking those things also. So, Sarvendriyanam, all the senses, they get rid of their tejas, their strength. The strengths are lost. All the senses lose the strength that they had. So there is no enjoyment. Even if you have many things, you cannot enjoy. Api sarvam jeevitam alpameva. However much your life is there, that life is alpam, only little. It will also go. So even if you are, oh Jama, you are giving me 1,000 years, that will also be over. Tavaiva vahas tavanritya gite. He says, oh Yama, don't try to fool me with all this. You are alluring me. So I know that this is this. This is the fact. Life is transitory. Even if I keep on enjoying, I will be only reaching old age. And slowly I will not be able to enjoy anything. And the sense organs which enjoy will also lose their strength and vigor. So, you be happy. You are offering me all these damsels and dancing and all those things. You keep it to yourself. I don't want them. So then, Yama understood that this fellow, you cannot simply, make him feel that, okay, agree to what Yama is saying. So he said that, I understand. Now, Nachiketas, for you this self-knowledge, the abode of self-knowledge, the door to it is open. I will tell you. And what does he say? He says this. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atmasya jantor nihito guhayam tamakratu pashyati bita shoko dhatu prasadan mahimanamatmanah. He first tells about this I. That I is, I'm not taking those shlokas, or you can say, he says, Najayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Not exactly this shloka, this is from Bhagavad Gita, but he says like this. What he says? That neither the I neither takes birth nor it dies. That is, it is always there. Eternal means what? Always it is there. That is why it is changeless. So the I is changeless. Knowing that, remembering that, what you can do, how you can translate to your life. You are hearing something, some statements from the Upanishad, which is a high philosophy. How you can relate it to your life, how you can become stable and excellent in your life. That is your seeking. So, when we know that there is no change, neither it is born nor it dies, that is, there is no change. Ajaha, it is unborn. Nityaha, it is eternal. Shashvataha, it is always there. Purano, it is very, very ancient. And na hanyate hanyamane sharire, even if the body dies, it is not killed. That is the self. I am that. So, little bit here and there, adversities, big or small, the sufferings, big or small, it cannot disturb me. It cannot affect me. I am that. I am that. How will you remember this? I am saying it. With shoutingly I am saying it. You know, these sages, and there are shlokas where they say that, oh men, I am with my arms stretched out, I am shoutingly telling you that this is the I and you are that. Why is it that you are not listening? The question is, you are listening now. Will you be able to retain it? Will you be able to apply it when a problem comes to you? How do you do that? That also we must discuss. I'll discuss it tomorrow. Now, so here, he's saying, Yama is saying that this is like this. The self is like this. In Bhagavad Gita it says, Achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nitya sarvagatasthānuhu achaloyam sanatanaha achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nitya sarvagatasthānuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. When we are having some kind of difficulty ahead of us, or we are in the midst of a difficulty, we just do not know what to do, or we have become very, very hopeless, fearful, anxious. This is what you should chant. You should remember. Remember, Achedyoyam, I cannot be cut by anything. Adahyoyam, I cannot be burned by anything. What happens? When there is a problematic situation, we feel that we are being burnt, we are being scorched, we are having darkness in front, as if the earth beneath our feet is shaking. This is how we feel. But remember this, Achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha, I cannot be wetted by anything. That is, no change can come in me. I am that, where no change can come. Absolutely no change can come. I'm changeless. I'm changeless. So, I, who was very happy and jolly, suddenly in front, when some problem has come up, why is it that I am becoming so restless, disturbed, agitated? That is a change. Change from my happy situation. I will not allow it. I will remember, and go inside and try to touch that core of yours where you are immovable. Try to take. You know what? We do not do that. We do not go inside. We always go outside. Then, if you are in a trouble, we'll call up a friend and say, this has happened, I don't know what to do, I'm feeling like this, that. Will the friend or relative or your parents be able to solve your problem? Either they will also be very anxious, or they will start crying, or they will give you some reply which is also from the perishable level of understanding. They will not be able to give to you this courage which our scriptures give us through our seers, through our knowers. Our scriptures can give us only. Achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha. No, I cannot be dried up by anything. When we are in fear, our mouth gets dried. We start feeling something in the ear. So many things happen to our body, mind and everything. Nothing is happening. Yes, it is happening to my mind. It is happening to my intelligence. It is happening to my body, but not to the real self that I am. Look inside. Look inside. There is a fountain of joy. It's a fountain, self-effulgent fountain, which only radiates and from it flows the fountain of joy. What kind of joy? Nectarine joy, which doesn't get over. It is there. What did I say? You must have faith. It is not I, a Ma Gurupriya saying. I have learnt it from my Guru, my master, and my master, my Guru is speaking what? The words of the scriptures. Scriptures. And we must have faith in the words of the scripture and the words of the Guru. There are many. When a seeker goes to a Mahatma and says, in this world, I'm always anxious, fearful, affected, as if I am getting drowned, as if I am getting scorched, as if there is a big storm which is taking me away from my stable position. What the Mahatma says? He says, don't fear. Just by that word and with his look, that person gets abhiti, abhaya, fearlessness. He says, don't fear, my boy. Hold my hand. I will take you to that abode of fearlessness where there is everlasting joy, everlasting happiness. There is no agitation. It is all calm and tranquil, where there is peace and peace alone. Hold my hand. Many have gone on this path, and you will also be able to go. This is what he says. So this shloka from Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is telling Arjuna, what happened to Arjuna? He had prepared for 13 years to do for a war with the Kauravas, with his cousins. And when the actual time came, he was facing the other side, the opponents, seeing that his grandfather, his teacher, all his cousins, all his known people are on the other side. He felt, how will I kill them? And all his skill simply failed. His bow, his arrow, everything fell off. His mouth became dried, and he was in great agony. He sat down and said, "Oh Krishna, I cannot fight. I cannot fight. I will not fight." Maybe we are not in a battle-like situation, but I think many times, for small reasons or big reasons, we also face this situation where we feel that how to face the situation, what to do in this situation. And Krishna then tells, just like Yamaraja was telling Nachiketa in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna, giving that knowledge of I, he revived the strength of Arjuna who fought ultimately. And in what manner? Where he understood what his real nature is, what is the excellence, what he should do. And similarly, we can also do. What did he say? Ajaha, nityaha, sarvagataha, sthanuhu. He says this I is nitya. Nityam is everlasting, eternal. Sarvagataha, all pervading. Sthanuhu, it is immovable. It stays at one place. Achalaha, it doesn't move at all. And it is always as it is. This is the I. This is what we are in reality. In reality we are. Now, the question is, what this Yamaraja told Nachiketa, now after he started telling, he told about the I. How, and also how he can attain it. That will be our tomorrow's lecture, I will tell you. And there are very beautiful shlokas in this, very, very touching. Very touching. I think some of you must grow some interest to read these books. You may not understand, but it is coming from such truth, Truth for what? It is telling us that truth which is there from time immemorial, which can completely change our personality, our outlook towards this world, change us so that we are not these small weaklings. We are always getting tense and anxious. We know what potential we have, how much strong we are. We know in every situation what we can think and what we can do. That knowledge it gives us. And that knowledge, how will we remember? You have to remember often. It's not that 2 days you hear how many lectures? 2 of mine and 4 of Swamini, 6 lectures. And there will be introspection and all that. It is not a workshop, my dear children. It is not a workshop. If you really want to know, and knowing that there is a state of life, reaching where we can become fearless, unaffected, everlastingly happy, should we not try to reach there? Should we not at least tread on this path, start walking on that path? Suppose I need a medicine badly, and somebody says that yes, on that shop you will get. What will we do? We'll start simply walking there. Because maybe somebody is dying, as in bad and badly in need of that medicine. So we'll just start walking, knowing the path. It is just like that. When we reach there, how we reach there, and in what form, we do not know. But we must start walking. Otherwise we are foolish. Foolish to the core. Foolish. We are wanting happiness from outside things. We feel happiness is outside. When we are in trouble, as I said, we'll pick up the phone and tell one of the friends or one of the relatives or parents that this has happened, that has happened. They will not be able to give you any solution. We feel always that our happiness will come from possessions, buying this, buying that, eating out, going here, going there. All those things, our happiness will come. Yes, definitely it comes. That is why, but it is shallow, my dear children. It is shallow. It is time to understand that all this happiness is okay. You enjoy them. Nobody is saying don't enjoy them. But know also that these happinesses are shallow. It will not be everlasting. Should we not try for that kind of a happiness which will allow us to be everlastingly happy? That also we must do. All that we ask for, the fearlessness, who is going to give us fearlessness? Nobody can give us. Our parents cannot, our husband cannot give to wife, wife cannot give to husband, children cannot give to parents, parents cannot give to children, nobody can give. Only these words, heard from the Guru, heard from the masters, the words of the scriptures, they can give us fearlessness. However much you possess, maybe bank balance is so much that it is flowing. Still, to get fearlessness, can you write out a check? Cannot. No check will give you fearlessness. Nobody can give you fearlessness. And I think every one of us wants to be fearless, non-anxious, and without any tension in life. Nowadays, when I look back, I'm 68 years old. So when I look back, our childhood, how peaceful it used to be. How peaceful. The days were so peaceful, nice and calm. Yes, we also had pressure of exams, this, that. But on the whole, but now the world, as if it is running, it has always wheels. Everybody is running. Not only here, everywhere. Wherever we go, except maybe for the villages, everybody is running. And everybody is anxious, everybody is tense. So how to remove that? I think in everybody's mind, sometime or other it comes, oh, can I not sit quietly with a free mind sometime? This thought comes to everybody. I think you have to admit it, that it comes. And then let us see, you're very, very blessed, all of you, that you have come to listen to these lectures. Where will you get such words? These words of wisdom from the scriptures, which give you so much of confidence that yes, I will not be hopeless at all. I will not feel weak at all. I've got so much strength. All these words give us so much of confidence. You are blessed that God has given you a little bit of inkling, a little bit of liking for this path, to listen to these words. Maybe it will remain in the mind. Maybe some of you take to the practices. Maybe some of you will remain and make this the supreme aim of life. Whatever you do in household, many responsibilities are there, many duties are there. You cannot leave all those things. We are not telling you to leave. But while doing all these things, know that there is a higher aim which also I must pursue. I must give time to that. I must do it for myself to make my mind peaceful and calm. And when I become peaceful and calm, I can radiate to others around. Okay. Eko vashi sarvabhutantaratma ekam rupam bahudha yah karoti tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham nityo nityanam chetanaschetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham shanti shashvati netaresham tesham shanti shashvati netaresham. One who can feel and realize that Lord inside oneself, the one who being one without a second takes any names and forms. Realizing Him inside one's heart, one gets happiness and peace everlastingly. Others do not get. This is the shloka. Okay. Jai Guru.